Hey everybody, and welcome to our podcast show. And today we have Shannon from Patriot Memory. Yes, Shannon, known each other for many, many years, as well as Stephen, right?
Yeah. Through many companies.
Yeah.
Just one or two,
Yeah.
It's just, it's great to see that you still have so much love and passion for this industry, because there have been so many people that just completely left.
And never come back.
This is just, tech is kind of just my thing. I truly love just how computers work, how they go together, everything about them.
Well, the first time I met Shannon was actually at 2016, and you were doing like a video thing for me, and you were describing the products, and you had so much passion in there, for a certain company, which I won't mention. But anyway, but yeah, at the time, it was the first time I met him, and it was great dude, and he loves his parties as usual.
Hey, you got to work hard, you got to play hard.
That's right. What about you, Stephen? When was the first time you met Shannon?
It was definitely at that company.
I joined there like 2011.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I met you shortly after that. So
yeah.
I've known Steven well over 10 years.
Yeah. Longer than me.
Unfortunately, this Canadian's been like, it just kind of stuck, and then it's just been there ever since.
Anytime I need anything, I know that he's got my back.
Well, yeah, because you help your friends out, because we're all in this industry. The industry, whether people realize it or not, no matter how big these companies seem, the industry is really small.
Yeah.
So you build these friendships.
That's true. Friendship lasts. And, talking about the place where you used to live in California, right?
Yeah.
You were always been there?
Yeah, I've lived in California for 33 years.
And then you moved to Ohio, right? How is that different? Totally different.
Is it different?
Let me tell you.
How different?
That's the entire reason I left. I actually went and visited Ohio, me and my wife.
All right.
And we went in there, and it was like, everything was chill. People were nice. And I'm like, wow, this isn't California for sure. Like, California, you've been there. Like, everyone's in a rush. Everyone's crazy, always grumpy, because they're always on the move, always trying to get stuff done.
Yeah.
I'm always on the move. You guys see me at the show, but still, I want to be able to de-stress a little bit. In California, first of all, you can't afford to live there. Second of all, you can't ever de-stress, because everyone's like angry all the time.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get that part, because everyone's an actor there.
Oh, wait, Canadian A. Sorry, I had to insert that for a second. A.
Right, but the weather's different too, right? So how do you manage to cope with that? Because it's completely like, in a way that's crazy, right?
Bro, I'm a big guy, so I love being cold. Like, I'm like a bear.
Right.
So I can wear shorts in the snow and I'm happy. And and the thing is, like I've described it to you guys before.
Yeah.
Like, the reason I love, I really wish Computex was during October. Because you guys have been here, like 22, 23C, it would be fantastic.
Heck yeah.
But instead, I'm out here, and it's like, I walk outside, and, some people are like, oh, I'm sweating. I'm like, bro, I'm raining. like I'm a tropical rainforest. Like,
the thing is, you don't even have to move. You just stand there.
Yeah.
And then you started like...
You get out of the shower, and you start sweating.
He's
like,
Rain Man.
but not the beneficial one. It's more the I have to take 5 showers a day.
Yeah,
kind of
it
one.
is. You have to like day, afternoon, and night, right?
Yeah.
But it's crazy. But you've been to Computex many years, and of course, pandemic we didn't go anywhere, right?
That didn't help.
But tell us your journey from the last time you left that company to move on to another company. You said you did something with the...
Oh yeah. When I left the previous company, it was around 2016. I moved to Ohio because I joined an integration company where I was working on like flight simulators for the Department of Defense, basically training like pilots on how to fly things such as F-15 Strike Eagles, things like that.
Like flight sims, as in computer flight sims.
Yeah, but instead of like just your basic like PC flight sim, it was actually contracting for a major defense company. Right. So it was large racks of servers that were all Genlocked cards, so that you had basically a surround system of video.
Yeah.
And you had an actual like fighter pilot cockpit in there that was all wired into the machines with the interposers and everything that allowed you to fly in like technical training battles. So if you yeet a plane right into the side of a mountain, instead of spending upwards of hundreds of millions of dollars, instead you just reset the game.
Yeah.
But then the seats have hydraulics and stuff.
They have full articulation mechanisms.
Yeah.
It depends on the design.
Oh, right.
Some of them are fully articulating. Some of them are static with a large dome that goes around you. It really depends on design. But it changes by, they have terms like FMT, like full mission trainer, or PMT, partial mission trainers. So it comes down to overall breadth of what the design is for, and also who the customer would be. Because when you're talking customer, you're talking things such as specific Royal Air Forces. We're talking governmental, like military. We're not talking like, some, Game Shack where they're spending $25K to build like a simulator. We're talking things that are, tens of millions of dollars.
So you see people with their gaming rig and this, oh yeah, look at my flight simulator with the 3 screens and my Intel processor PC. That's gonna be great. That's nothing like that. Yours is way up there, right?
Well, it's because it's literally a cluster of like 8 different racks of servers.
Wow.
And because you need a massive amount of processing power because we were using very specially made projectors to project on the screens, and they were surround completely. So you could turn around and all around you, there was full visual. And that kind of stuff wasn't coming easy, especially at that time, because the only cards you either had Pascal-based Quadros at that time. You were just moving into Pascal, or you were Genlocking against the better, against NVIDIA wanting us to.
Right, so it's all rendering power, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had to have a bunch of it. And the worst part is you also had to do what's called Genlocking, because you would have pieces of the frame written by different servers. So if they're not in sync, you'd have mismatched frames. So everything had to talk. So those things had to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you had to modify a lot of the cards just so that they could talk to each other.
Wow. And what you do is life and death, because if they get trained wrong, they learn that behavior.
I don't want to think that was life and death, because that just terrifies me, because I know how bad I am. I mean, I'm the type of guy that has started his liquid cooled system but forgot to put the plug in the radiator and watched the entire the coolant just dump right into the PSU, and I'm like, well, that's done.
Or for a CPU cooler, you forgot to peel the plastic.
Oh no!
I did that. I actually did that. I did that, and intentionally, just to show for all the people that always worry about building, I actually posted on social media and I said, see guys, I built hundreds of PCs and I still do it. So don't worry. If you do that, it's part of cutting your teeth at doing
That's
this.
right, but it's not life and death. You might get a cooked CPU.
Well, it depends. I was about to say, it might be life and death for a part, because not all CPUs like to get that hot, but most of them will thermally shut off. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope. But then again, recent evidence might be a little different. Recently, we've seen some things counter to that. But maybe that's a topic for another time. I don't know how deep you guys want to get into that. Let's just say you should be safe. Let's just take the plastic off the cooler. You guys will be all right.
Yeah.
Best practices.
Best practice is not give it the chance to burn out.
And you have a passion for PAX events. I noticed that. You love PAX events, right?
Oh, yeah.
East, West. Is there one in Central as well?
There was like a PAX South. I'm not even sure if it still goes on. It was like in Texas. I'm pretty sure it does.
So PAX East is in Boston. PAX West is in
Seattle.
Which I've been to a couple times.
So tell us more about the PAX scene. What is PAX?
PAX, well, it's Penny Arcade Expo. Nice catch. It's Penny Arcade Expo, so it's basically it's like CES for gamers. It's essentially a lot like in Boston. It's in the Boston, I forget the name of it, but it's like a Boston Convention Center. And you go in and it's almost like the videos you're showing here from Computex, except it's all game developers or people who work in game stuff. Obviously, you still get some of the hardware partners, like for instance us or like Asus, things like that. Yeah. But you're not going to see like Super Micro there. No. You're not going to see like some of the Chinbro. You're not going to see these guys.
Right. Gamers, are they LAN? Esports and that kind of stuff.
It's the whole gamut. They even have the tabletop gaming areas.
Right.
They have everything from esports. They have a BYOC LAN area where, like, a lot of times, last time I think EK had sponsored some of it, things like that, where they just had massive amounts of PCs, so some people can even come and just try PC gaming. And I love to see that, because we all know that PC gaming, like, it's a hard thing to get people into, because PCs are a lot of people don't realize they're like high-tech Legos. You just put them together. I mean, it's really hard to screw them up.
Good analogy there.
Well, that's what I tell Legos. Because people always say, like, it seems so hard to build a PC. It's like, trust me, if you can plug in like a wall socket, you can build most of the stuff in a PC.
Right. Just follow the instructions.
At least it's so much easier these days because of all the protections built in. Like in the good old days when stuff would just crap.
Well, back when you used to have to worry about ESD way more than it does now.
Right. So PAX East, and that's the biggest one, right? And then PAX West is a smaller one. Is that right?
Actually, PAX Prime. I'd have to look at the analytics, but I'm pretty sure they're kind of. Last time I checked, especially post-pandemic, it's hard to say, but they had almost reached kind of a similar equilibrium. I think West, it's been give and take. I've seen West be quite big, but it seems like East primarily has more attendance.
Right. Yeah. I've never been. You've been one, right?
More population density on the East side. West, we tend to have to travel a little bit more. It's kind of like you have another one that you really love to go to, right?
PDXLan.
PDXLan.
PDX.
Right? Oh, but PDXLan, dude, it's 1,000 people. but it is legit. It's like a family. Like this is the type of thing. Okay, you go to Expo, you watch your bag, you do all this stuff, right? You go to PDXLan, you set up a system, dude, and if someone decides to try to take off of something, which I've never seen happen, like you'll get beat to death. Like they will. This will not fly. Like people, there's a huge amount of respect. They're good people.
So you got a $5,000 PC. You leave your stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Leave your stuff there. You walk off. Go to the toilet or bathroom.
Bro. People leave food sitting out. People leave food. They leave their headphones, whatever. I don't think I've ever heard anything being taken. But I've been to some of the bigger events where. I've seen where unfortunately stuff has disappeared. That's one thing I love about it and I don't tell that story like as if shows are bad, but it's about to create the understanding of that family aspect. The PDXLan is legit like a family. They're very welcoming people, whether you're a new person, maybe you don't even have a good PC.
And where's those PDXLans? Are they once a year? Are they?
They're like now they're about twice a year. They're like spring and fall.
And different locations, right?
No, Washington. Richmond, Washington. I think it's up in Washington, just above Portland.
Yeah.
And the other one?
Same place.
Okay.
The one that was prior to that was Intel LAN Fest.
Yeah.
Intel LAN Fest.
But they're all over the place.
Yeah.
You have Intel LAN Fest, it feels like every city almost at this point.
Yeah.
It's just activity after activity. And those are also awesome. I try to support those too. I'm a big believer in supporting smaller gaming events, stuff like that, because that's where we get the most people into our hobby, because this is our passion. This is our hobby. That's why we're sitting here talking about this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Is because we love this thing. And this is what we do. I mean, otherwise you could be at home not spending how many thousands of dollars to fly here. You could be sitting at home, but we come here and sit in front of this camera and talk to people and share these stories because we love it. This is what we do.
I'm just thinking, like, it almost costs us enough to buy a PC.
Oh,
really good one.
Well, are we talking during the scalping crisis or now? Because that's a big price difference. Because you remember how much. You remember how much GPUs used to cost. Yeah. Remember those good old days?
At the time, a high-end GeForce 3090 Ti was going for like $3,000.
At least.
Even a low to mid-range, I guess, like a 3060s. We're going like for $700-800.
That was so insane.
I was so happy to see a substantial drop in the price of a 3060 Ti. I bought one for $600. I was so happty. It was on Amazon. I'm just like, thank you.
Okay, does that hurt you as much as it hurt me to say that? That I was so happy to get to get like shafted for a 60 series card at $600.
That was MSRP.
I know.
That sounds wrong.
That's crazy.
The MSRP is so wrong.
Okay, so I have a question for you. Now let's, if you want to take a quick trip to Google, how much was a 1060 MSRP?
For something, because I bought my.
It was like $399 to $450.
Yeah, I bought my. I'm converting to Canadian pricing, but I bought. My 1080 Ti, my 1080. It was an EVGA. I bought them for $600, $650. It was from a certain defunct retailer in Canada. That no longer exists.
That could be one of several, but
yeah. You think that's
the
bad?
big one.
You think that's bad? Last year, November time.
Yeah.
I needed to get a high-end graphics card to do my testing and reviews, right? Couldn't find anything. Went on eBay, secondhand, used, a 3090. Guess how much I paid for a used 3090, which I know is beating a fucking mining machine.
Yeah, it's been cryptoed.
Did you pay like over $2,000?
I paid over $1,000.
Okay, at least that's not as bad.
Not terrible.
I saw people buying off eBay for like over $3,000 for like a 3090, and I'm just like, and this is secondhand, so likely no warranty. And I'm just like, this is so painful.
Crypto to hell.
It's crypto to hell. I know that because the fan starts, it's just spinning constantly. Normally, if it's not in any workload,
fan stop.
Yeah, but this was just constantly spinning, and
they probably put a BIOS on it that kept the fan spin off.
Oh god.
That I probably shouldn't tell him that, because now he's gonna be like, oh god, my card's like broke.
My card's gonna break.
Tomorrow. It's just gonna.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
It's okay.
Terrible.
F in the chat.
It's getting better. It is getting better. The graphics card prices are coming down. Retail prices, you can get a retail one for I don't know, $200-300, but still, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. But it's evened out now. I think we're normalizing the pricing a lot.
It's definitely pulled back a little. Yeah. I just don't think we're going to see like the pre-pandemic prices.
No.
Remember when you had like 960 to 1060, you've seen that progressive step up.
Yeah.
Like, especially after Kepler. After Kepler, like, the prices really started marching forward.
Yeah.
I have no problem with $1,000, like, flagship card. I remember the 8800 GTX. That was $1,000, or 8800 Ultra. That was $1,000 card.
I had 2 of those.
Oh, so did I. And then I had
Wait, SLI.
Then I had the brilliant idea to run 3 in Tri-SLI. Guess what? That didn't scale for crap. It didn't matter. The only thing it scaled in was 3D Mark.
Wasn't there a time where they had quad SLI?
Yes,
of course.
Yes, I was actually working at said company that supported that from the start as a motherboard PM at the time.
Yeah. The XL-ATX.
Yep, XL-ATX.
G1 Killer Assassin.
G1 Killer Assassin, or the X58 classified 4-way.
Yeah. I had the G1 Assassin. It's still actually in my system.
Oh, my G1 Assassin, the 4-way board.
Yeah.
It died.
Oh,
My VRM. The worst part was I had a MOSFET. I had a MOSFET fail, closed or open. I don't remember. Direct feed to CPU. CPU lived a happy life for about 2 seconds before it died.
No.
It was just done.
As soon as I put the 9080, I found the 980X.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Westmere.
It was. You can see from the label, it was a warranty one. So I bought it from this guy that warranted his old one.
Yeah.
It never overclocked. It's in the system. That system still runs like no problem. I still need to hack it so it runs Windows 11 and see what happens, just for science, just to see what happens.
There's a trick to doing that. We'll talk about it off of here, but yeah, there's a trick to that.
There's a trick to that, and I made a video that has 1.2 million views.
No, there's even a better trick.
I know there's a better trick now.
You can inject a little bit of code in the firmware to fake TPM that will allow it to officially install.
Yes.
Although Windows update randomly does get really angry, so you got to be aware of that.
A bit of firmware TPM hacking there. Ooh,
Hey, you know what? Nothing more secure than your fake TPM.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so from that company that you worked for, you moved through to the flight simulators.
Yeah, I did all that stuff, and then I actually, funny enough, I actually have a buddy that I was working with back at that original company that was at BeQuiet.
Okay, BeQuiet. Yeah.
And so I stepped in. They were needing some help in U.S. marketing, so I stepped in to help them and was doing some really fun, cool stuff. We were working. I mean, we were all kind of working together.
Yep.
I even worked with you because you were doing some video stuff, and
We got it on national television.
And we were doing some fun stuff, and then that kind of weirdly enough led to today. I mean, I was working. One thing I pride myself on is I always try to not just do the basic job just to get paid.
Yeah.
I try to always help where I can to make the brand better, whether it's the product better, whether it's offering suggestions or even looking at ways we can engineer better products or things we can offer. As weird as it sounds, but as much as, you would think a company, I want to make max profit. My thing is, I want people to have fun. I want people to enjoy this hobby, this passion. I want to see more people get into it because that means we just grow and proliferate what we love doing.
I'm sensing a theme here because one other person said fun.
Fun.
Fun. The other Rob, the one with the last
Mr.
name,
Teller,
with the first name.
Teller.
Yes.
That's another good man. He's also a very hardware centric guy.
Yeah.
That guy is extreme, and I love it because he is pushing things in ways. He's pushing the industry and he's shaking it up a bit, and I love to see it because he's forcing people to either basically evolve or die. They're either going to have to catch up, or they're either going to have to keep up or catch up.
It's that creative freedom that you need, right? That kind of drive and take that little risk. You never know.
It's always good to have a company that supports that thing. That's the hard part. You can get in a company where they box you into your role and you can only do a specific thing.
I know.
Or you have companies that have that open communication where they say, hey, if you've got a cool idea, that's awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like to have that kind of embracing thought is really huge for me because my mind comes up with just millions of ideas. Most of them are complete crap, but occasionally there's a good one. I'm not going to lie, man. I come up with all kinds of ideas, but most of them I probably never even mention here because they're just wild and stupid.
It was wild, and I should have taken that back.
Yeah, it's like I've learned to have a filter before I just mention all my ideas because sometimes once you actually look at them, you're like, yeah, that's probably not a good one.
Oh, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
but,
it was a really fun because Rob said something. He said that a certain others. Case manufacturer / peripheral manufacturer. They make everything. They're probably publicly traded. Are they publicly traded? I can't remember.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So that company, one of our good friends, said
I love how we get so awkward real quick. We're like, other company.
Yeah, other company. One of our good friends over there, and Rob said that person said that he needs to take it down a notch. You're so hype.
So hyper.
I don't know anyone that's so hype about his job.
But you need to take this, okay? Suck on that, and then
you're making us look bad.
Take a couple of sucks and then
but
chill out.
It's actually good when you make your competition so nervous that they have to kind of like, whoa.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, also, it's not about making your competition nervous. It's about pushing the industry ahead.
Yeah.
Because it's real easy, especially in things like chassis design, where people get really complacent. And you just end up with. I mean, we had a little time span where you just had rectangle boxes where you're just trying to find everywhere you can stick tempered glass. And then it became tempered glass RGB.
Tempered glass RGB.
Then it became trying to make a case where your tempered glass case didn't explode.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, we have hinged tempered glass now. You can open it like hinge this way,
like a shower,
so you can see it when it falls off and breaks. Gotcha.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, like a shower door.
Level up that experience of explosion.
It was the funniest thing because I had one of them out of nowhere. The worst one I had explode on me. I was building a system. I set the panel down, like didn't even think about it. I'm sitting there putting a motherboard in. All of a sudden I just hear pop, and I look over and it's just spitting little pieces of glass, and I'm like, oh. That's a new one. We're just gonna sweep that into a trash bag, and then I call the manufacturer. I'm like, yo,
do they actually give you another glass?
I told them I'll pay. I told them I'll pay for it. Like I don't care. I just need another panel. And they're like, how'd you break it? I'm like, I set it on the table. I don't know. It was there for like 45 minutes, and all of a sudden it just like popped. But you know how tempered glass is made, right?
Yeah.
It's thermally stressed.
Yes.
So essentially, all it takes is to have a little stress. Even from the factory, from shipping, it could have the tiniest little nick on the edge. You don't realize. And then at that wrong moment, that stress releases.
Yes.
And it's designed to blow apart like that.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them. Like, oh my goodness, it's dangerous. Tempered glass in general can be dangerous.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just what it is. It's not like it's a case manufacturer's fault. No, that's just reality that's a property of the material.
How it's made.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's chemistry. It's just what it is.
I'm so fortunate that I do have a one of the first generation cases with glass, a certain folded case that has many folds in it, but it's just two big panels of glass on either side.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
That one is still okay.
Well, yeah, that also has like 6.5 or 7 millimeter thick glass too.
It's okay. Yeah, they made it right.
Yeah, but I mean, you could take a baseball bat to that and it ain't gonna break. So.
I have not, but I have kicked it. By accident.
I was about to say, your hobbies are a little different than mine. If your hobby's kicking your case glass.
Yeah, like I just walked into the room one day and it was just there and I just kicked it. My foot hurt.
I'm about to judge you. Do you have your PC on the floor?
Where else are you going to put that freaking thing?
On your desk.
No, you can't.
You've got to see it. It's beautiful.
It's bigger than my desk.
The trend is put on the wall for everyone to admire.
Oh, boy.
Look, I love the people there, but
I'm
this
just
case was too big.
The ceiling.
It was too big.
But also another trend is not just the glass, open frame chassis. Actually.
I have very little problem with that.
The other problem is it gets very dusty.
Well, not just that, but also a lot of PC components, people don't realize, they're designed with the idea that you have some form of chassis airflow. Mm-hmm. So if you're talking VRM cooling, whether it's into SSDs, even DRAM, especially with DDR5, you have PMICs, they get pretty hot.
They get hot.
If you're especially if you're an overclocker and you're pushing voltage and stuff, at least you want to put a fan over it. Yeah. And some of the open frame chassis, I love them. I mean, hell, I was at one of the teams when we worked on some of them, and I love the idea, the concept. It's all great, but you have to have the right mechanical considerations for what the product's going to require, because otherwise you get these dead spaces where you get no airflow.
There's no airflow. That's right.
Imagine you're in a still room, and let's say you don't have air conditioning, you don't have like aircon or anything blowing, and you're sitting still. You got like everything's just kind of baked.
You get like a hot spot.
Can we talk about old kind of companies that we don't care about anymore?
That's up to you.
Yeah. Old companies.
This is your podcast. I'm just here to ruin my reputation.
A certain company that we've all grown up with, we probably own one of their cases. They made something called the P series cases, but Uncle Han.
Uncle Han?
Yeah, Antec.
Oh, right. All right.
Yeah, so they had the Skeleton series long time ago.
Yeah.
But they had the wisdom to actually put fans on top of the shell so it would constantly blow down. So I still have mine in a box, and I'm thinking about unretiring the thing because I think it would work with a nice riser card if I just brought the GPU up over because there's not enough clearance for modding GPUs underneath it. So I'm thinking maybe a bit of a resto mod.
Dude, that would actually be really cool.
You
could put like modern hardware in it and like show that like even that stuff, when configured correctly, could actually perform.
Yeah.
Because everyone assumes you need like whatever new latest greatest case. But I've seen plenty of like resto mods built in like old compact like beige boxes. And dude, they build like amazing systems in them. And I'm like, dude, that's I'm trying not to say words like badass, but sorry, I had to say it.
It's even better now because all the modern components have thinner cables versus before you had to fold the floppy cables behind the motherboard tray and try to slip.
Are you trying to make me feel old? Are you going to start talking about ISA slots? What are we going to do next?
Hey, ESA was much better.
EDO RAM, let's go.
You think with cases, right, and all these new modern motherboards, components and all that, you would have thought cabling would be a past issue, but no. Fuck me, those cables. Those cables, man. Especially those RGB fans. There's a shit ton of cables.
I love RGB, but the problem for me is I set a single color and I never touch it again. And now that I built a few of them from, let's say, a company that makes everything, I have no problem with that because every RGB fan has a billion wires on it.
A billion wires, mate.
But good Lord. How do you, I legit grabbed the entire bundle because I have one of the original, I'm just going to say it straight. I have one of the original O11D XLs.
Right.
Yeah.
Like back before it became, how careful do I have to be in my language?
Just
Because I had the basic bitch case. Like now everyone has an O11.
Yeah.
So I had it originally, right?
Yeah.
And I'm putting this thing together. I put these fans in. And I go to like manage the RGB. I'm like, yeah, I'll get this thing routed. I grab this bundle and I'm like, nah, bro. Like I put it in the back. I took one zip tie, just wrenched it. Yeah. And I'm like, if the RGB don't work, I don't even care. I shut the panel. All the RGB worked. Like 2 months later, one of them stopped working. And I'm like, well,
which one?
Don't care. No, I looked at it. I didn't even care. I'm just like, you know what? I went through and I snipped the cable to all the RGB and said, done. Now none of them work.
Now this mod is called Murdered Out.
Yeah.
Murdered Out.
And that was the last RGB fan I ever used.
It's those cables, man. Those cables are the killer. And I don't know, some of these modders or system builders, I don't know how the hell they managed to get the wiring so neat and tidy going around the chassis edges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they are mentally insane. I do not understand how you could do this. I see it and I just go like my fingers hurt looking at it.
Yeah.
So I just look at that and it's like, dude, my hands. Look at the size of my hands, dude. I'm not. How am I gonna? I mean, compared to mine, like at least you could work in a small case.
Yeah, I
got gigantic bear paws, dude. Like,
see, your description of high-tech Legos only works up until you have to deal with cabling.
Yeah, cabling suck.
I've got a fun one we all have done.
What's that?
Plugging in cables and you end up stabbing yourself with the pin headers off the board.
Yes.
And the worst part is when you get it right up the nail. It's like I had one that did that on a USB, so all 4 pins went up my thumb. Okay. I know everyone watching this is probably just cringing their fingers right now.
All right,
so you all now understand my pain.
Just so you know, if you've never done that before, it's kind of like the bed leg on like the leg on your bed, and you kick the side of your bed with your pinky toe. That feeling.
You're making my legs shake. Stop that.
See, now everyone feels the pain, right?
Dude, I have this big solid like oak thing like leg to my bed.
Yeah.
And I swear that thing hates me. I legit broke my pinky toe 3 different times now on that.
I don't know if I broke it at all, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't like that when it came from the factory.
Oh no. Mine's super modified by force for sure.
Oh my God.
One time I did it and my toe's like, eh. My wife's like, what are you going to do about that? I'm like, the doctors can't do anything. I'm just going to figure it out. Like, it figured itself out.
it grew in the way.
It went Mandalorian. This is the way.
This is the way now.
This is now the way.
This is it. Guys, I think we should get some wireless RGB fans. That's it. I'll fix everything.
Yep, done. I'm putting my hand up.
Get some wireless RGB fans. You heard it from me, right, guys?
Wireless RGB fans.
Yeah, that's right.
Wireless power too. Nikola Tesla.
Well, look. Listen.
Hey, we have
wireless charging on your phone, right?
Yeah, wireless charging is like 3-4 millimeters.
That's fine.
It's stuck to the case.
The whole case is a wireless charger.
Dude, speaking of that, actually, I'm actually going to talk about a product that's here. In BeQuiet.
Yeah.
It was something when I was there that we were working on. Mm-hmm. If you haven't, have you went over to their booth yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
So you need to go look at their new Dark Base 900 or 901, I think they call it.
Mm-hmm.
When you this is such a badass design.
Right.
You know how you pull the radiator tray out to put radiators in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of the ideas we had was,
Yeah.
why don't you integrate all the fan connectors and then have one lead that goes down to the motherboard? So when you put that tray in, it's got 4 pogo pins that it touches. So you wire and cable manage all your fans, radiator, whatever.
Yeah.
You drop it in and it just connects.
And one wire go back into the motherboard. That's it.
Yeah, it goes in for its PWM signal and power.
That's
there you go.
Versus you've ran cables to where you gotta run the fan cables and all that crap. Dude, one shot, you're done.
And they have different
That was such a cool idea.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did it.
That's good.
If you guys haven't seen it, you need to go see it. It's actually really cool.
Nice.
I had to have a breath for a second.
Why's that?
Because, like all that effort that I expended in the past, just...
Well, yeah, you just get that sigh of relief and realize that you'll probably still have to do it unless you buy that specific case.
But yeah, that's just fans. I forgot about the PCIe power cables as well.
Wait, are we talking the new monster with the 4-sense pins? The 600 watt 12V?
Yeah, the melted the graphics cards, that kind of thing.
No, you didn't install it right. Just like back in the day when you didn't hold the iPhone right, so
your fault.
You couldn't call.
It's
okay.
Uncle Jensen is calling you out, even though it's his fault.
Well,
honestly, there are some. I've seen some of those cases where they had them in, and you could see it was easily a mil, 1.5 mil out. So yeah, maybe it was causing poor connection, but overall, the microfit connector, it's rough, man. It's a tiny connector.
It's nice.
You're running a ton of amperage. I mean, anyone who's done engineering in their life knows that's a recipe for you have to be careful.
Yeah,
it's just what it is.
Yeah, it's not good.
No,
I mean, I know. You came by this morning to my booth, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. I was about to say, wait, you don't come by till tomorrow. I'm like, wait, you came by this morning. Never mind.
Yeah, our schedule's a bit messed up for tomorrow. Well,
yeah,
it was
you
nice.
got thrown for a loop a bit.
It was nice, and then suddenly, we're gonna go somewhere to talk to a CEO of some company, and then now we have to.
But that's a good opportunity, right?
Oh yeah,
go for it. So go for it, dude.
So
we got it done.
Shannon,
we're good.
You're coming. I need to come down now. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Take some photos. Put on there.
It's all done. It's all done. Yeah. Reels and shorts.
I'll be honest. I have not really had a chance to hardly look at anything on my phone since I've gotten here.
Yeah.
I have so many people probably message me. I haven't even seen it.
He'll know after the show what's happened.
Oh yeah. I'll get home. I'm gonna literally probably fall asleep as soon as I get home, and then 2 days later I'll be like a bear coming out of hibernation. I'll look at my phone and go, "Oh, I hate my life."
That was the fun thing is that the one year when I came to Computex, it was 2014, and funny enough, BeQuiet. They actually sponsored me. Christoph actually put everything together.
That's cool. Yeah.
And we got here. I had Michael, who was
Kwan.
Yeah, Michael Kwan.
Kwan.
Yeah, Kwan. And we actually created almost TV episodes of our summary of the day. So
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Because you had themed episodes every day.
Yeah, so new ones. So I found out later that everyone was just, once they got to their hotel room, they just watched my show just to see what happens. I'm like, that feels really good, but that was so much work. So much work.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? But you were dedicated, man. I mean, you guys, I've watched you guys come through this. You guys bust ass. You guys hustle through this. You guys know what it's like at these shows, man. They're brutal. I mean, you can hear my voice, man.
That's why I took him out of the booth for at least 30 minutes and a half. Just chill out, get your frustrations out, have a drink, have a ball. Just relax.
Computex therapy session.
Yeah,
it's cheaper than
this is conversational therapy.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Got something to say? Come up to our booth for our podcast show.
Imagine what you told me, or not tell me. Tell the media or customer about this piece of RAM 8 times a day, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Right. But see, that's the thing. That's that part. It's more the standing because I'm a little over 6.5 feet tall. I'm a large man.
You're tall.
So you stand all this time at these booths.
Yeah.
No matter, it's just brutal. It just beats you up after several days.
Yeah.
So, but the one thing that keeps me going is I do have a genuine passion for the engineering and stuff that we put into our, whether it's RAM products or previous companies. Like I said, I love to enable people to have fun. The whole point we make these products is while making a profit as a company. Yeah. We make it because they're awesome. Oops, my phone is angry.
But you put in the new cooler, which is not out yet. Yes. And I just thought, ooh, new cooler, and your eyes just lit up because you're like, check this out.
But it's still very prototype.
Yeah. This is what I like about you. You were so passionate about new stuff that you wanted people to know. all the RAM stuff, the previous models that you've shown before, that's fine. You got some new models out.
Yep.
But then, of course, the new stuff, which is still prototype, and you're still working on the little kinks and stuff like that. But it really shows you, or shows me, that this product is something that you're excited about because you have the passion there.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the thing at Patriot is for a while they were kind of chill. I think a little bit, I don't want to say like negative way, but kind of complacency, especially with pandemic and all that. Yeah. Everything just kind of chilled a bit. There wasn't a lot of like push forward to like really kick ass. But now that was why at CES, if you remember, we were talking. One of my messages straight out, and it's not about marketing, branding, all that, was one of the things I just try to tell people is, hey, Patriot's back. Because Patriot at one point, long before I was here, they had some enthusiast stuff. They were working with I was overclocking for them. Like they would send me memory, and I would do LN2 and overclock it and whatnot. So then when I came in here, like one of my messages when I first joined was, hey, we need to build something like really badass. We need to build something that just breaks the mold, like goes really hard. Yeah. And it's not about selling 1 million units. It's not about making millions of dollars. It was about proving that we can do it. Kind of like when you say, why do you build a 2,000 horsepower race car? Because I can. That's why you do it. Yeah. Whether you're building a badass car, whether you're building something that runs 6 seconds and a quarter, or whether you're building something you can carve canyons with, or whether you're building a badass PC, you do it not because, obviously, you don't need 400 FPS in whatever game. No. You do it because you can.
What's that game you need to run? What's that game?
What? Crisis?
Okay. It's not Crisis now.
No. I thought, Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, well, that's okay. NVIDIA fixed out frame generation.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, it did. Funny enough, 40 series, if you play a Cyberpunk on that, it's actually quite surprising. It makes it playable.
They've launched a new benchmark mode in Cyberpunk.
Oh, so that's the new question.
So you don't even play the game, you just play it.
It's called Overdrive Ray Tracing. And I run a Radeon RX 7900 XTX.
Yeah. You already lost. You said RX, like the...
Yes, the Radeon. It doesn't actually work that well with these DLSS.
Well, no, I'm saying as far as the ray tracing, because ray tracing performance, we all know.
Yeah. Like, that was like 29 frames per second.
Oh, okay.
That's the high.
Was that 4K?
4K, yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's actually better than I thought. I thought it was going to be like 18 to 22.
But the GeForce RTX 4070 Ti, right? That's...
quite a bit lower.
A renamed 4080.
Yes. Rebranded.
Relaunched.
Supposed to be.
And that one was okay. That was actually 30 plus frames per second. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I wasn't saying like obviously the new 79, like the 700 XTX, 700 XT are actually really solid cards. The only thing they still have a detriment is they're still not caught up yet on ray tracing.
Okay,
their RT performance just isn't there, but it is getting better.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Any more questions, Stephen, that you would like to ask our man Shannon here?
Do you have a question to ask us?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, why haven't you come by and seen what we're offering out there?
Because I've been sitting here the whole time.
That sounds like a really easy job, and it sounds like a big excuse.
Yeah.
Because we've got some cool stuff. I mean, we don't have to talk about it here, but I do want to show you because I showed Winston briefly. We built some pretty crazy stuff.
How about tomorrow morning before we head off to whatever? I think we
can
just
do a live stream.
Oh. It's okay, guys. Yeah.
How about this? I'll leave the stuff here. I'm going to go walk around and go visit.
Dude, it takes like 5 minutes.
Okay,
I can show you.
I'll come downstairs.
All right. Well, on that note, then, that's it for the podcast show. Thank you, Shannon, for joining us. And have you got socials?
What's that?
Patriot? Any socials for Patriot?
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
at Patriot Memory, right?
Yeah, it's basically a Patriot Viper.
Patriot Viper.
I can send you all the links. That's fine.
Right. And we also have our socials, Steam.
Yeah, both of them are, funny enough, it's at our podcast show on Twitter and on Instagram while they're still free, because we might have to think about that when we have to pay.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know when that's going to happen.
So thank you for joining us, and we'll be back each Wednesday for another podcast show, our podcast show. Thank you, Saul. Okay. Bye.